Today I'll be giving a presentation on Microsoft Office Excel and developing a timesheet. First off, we're going to start by clicking on the Windows button in the bottom left, and then left clicking on Programs, going to Microsoft Office, and then Microsoft Office Excel 2007. As you can see, when you open this document, you receive basically a bunch of columns and rows filled with cells. First off, we're going to start by clicking on cell B2 and just entering in some column headings. Our first column heading is going to be employee names. Hit tab, that'll bring you over to C2. That column heading will be start time. Hit tab again. This column heading will be end time. Hit tab again. And this column heading will be break time. Tab one more time. And this will be the total hours worked by employees. As you can see, we have all of our column headings in. Now what we'll do is we'll left click and hold on column B, drag over to column F, scroll our cursor over to where we are just in between column F and column G, where we get the double arrows pointing left and right. You will then double click, and that will expand the columns so everything fits in them perfectly. Next, we'll enter in some employee names. You can make up pretty much any names that you want, or basically the names of the employees that will be working and whoever you're developing the spreadsheet for. So for now, for this training exercise, I'm just going to develop some fake ones. We'll start with Lance. We'll put in Joel, Sue, and Kathy. Okay, here's where we are gonna change the cell format. So we're gonna left click on cell C3 and hold. Scroll down to cell D6. Right click on any of these highlighted cells, which will give us a whole list of selections. We'll then go down and left click on format cells. Go over and click on custom. Scroll down to find H:MM space AM/PM. We'll then proceed to click OK. And as you can see, we can then enter in time. So if you type in 7 space AM in cell C3, hit tab, type in 3 space PM in cell D3, you can see that these cells will now display time. To finish this off, we need to left click on cell E3, drag down to cell F6, right click on any of these highlighted cells, go down to format cells, left click on custom, scroll down to where we can see H:MM, which will display hours and minutes, left click on that, and then click OK. And as you can see, we can now enter in a break time of 0:30 for 30 minutes of break. Next, we want to calculate Lance's total hours worked. So this is where we will start by entering in equals after we left click on cell F3. So we'll enter in equals. We'll left click on his end time, which is located in cell D3. We'll then subtract his start time, which is located in cell C3, and then subtract his break time, which is located in cell E3, and press return. As you can see, Lance will be working a total of 7 hours and 30 minutes. Next, we'll left click on cell F3, and you can see that in the bottom right hand corner there's a little box where you can place your cursor over. Hold in the left click and drag it down to cell F6. This will then do the calculations on each of these previous cells for Joel, Sue, and Kathy then. So you can enter in some times for these employees, which will show you that the calculation is working. So we'll go ahead and make up some times for Sue and Kathy here. break times of, I'll say 30 minutes on Sue and 45 minutes on Kathy, just to show you that the calculation is working. Next we will learn how to format this, and we'll highlight cell B3 to cell F3, and this is where I like to fill in basically these rows just to show that separation in there. We will then highlight cell B5 to cell F5 and fill that. We can then click on cell B2 and drag over to cell F6 and add borders. The most popular one that I always use is all borders, just because it shows you the separation between each cell. And you can also bold these main titles and change the font sizes. As you can see, our fonts went over the column widths again, so we'll have to highlight on column B and hold the left click and drag over to column F. And then just to the right where we get the double arrows, we need to make a double click there to expand our columns so everything fits. And as you can see, this is pretty much the basics of developing an employee timesheet.